Hi guys, welcome to your reading this week. So I'm just doing a little pre-recorded introduction of what the basis of this week's readings are, so I don't have to repeat myself in in all 12 zodiacs. So we're going to do this week, it's called Your Positive Boomerang. So I want to give you, just tell you how I came up with this reading concept. So you don't just go, oh, Cindy, she's talking about exes or anything. No. So the positive boomerang is something that actually happened for me twice in just the past week. And they're two really different avenues of life. And I thought this almost feels kind of symbolic in some way. So the first one was a missing pancake mix. So my son loves a certain type of pancake mix. And about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months into the start of the pandemic here in North America, when it all we went into the first lockdowns and that, I couldn't get it anymore and I couldn't find it. And it was just such a significant thing because I used to make him this mix all the time and it was just kind of lost. So it was almost like a piece of nostalgia even that was just gone. And then I found the pancake mix last week and I couldn't believe it. Like, wow. So he was so excited and we started making these pancakes again. And I thought, wow, that came back. And then another way that you can look at the boomerang. So it is something that could be lost, something that you couldn't find anymore, something got taken away, and suddenly it's back in your life again. Like, oh, wow, that's really cool. So the other way the boomerang can come through is, actually, it's funny. It's also something to do with my son. So maybe about, again, 3, 4, maybe 5 months into the pandemic, it was just after, at least here where I am in Canada, you couldn't even get into the dentists. But then they opened it up for a little bit if you had emergencies, and he had a cavity that was actually forming in his tooth for 3 or 4 months or whatever. And it was a horrible experience actually at a child's dentist of all places, where they tried to force his mouth closed with the thing in it. It was horrible. It was really horrible. It traumatized both him and I. I stopped going there, but it caused for him a fear of going to the dentist, and totally reasonable fear to have after what he'd been through. And he was starting to choke, and it was terrible what they did. And anyways, so I actually started taking him to my dentist, and I explained to them everything that he had been through. We need to build some trust here. So they've been doing that with him for the last couple of years, and it's been going really well. And so he hasn't had a dental x-ray in 2.5 years because he couldn't handle the thing in his mouth and he was terrified about his last experience with it. He got a dental x-ray last week and I was like, oh my God. It just was this overwhelming feeling of getting past this huge hurdle that I thought this is going to be a big thing because he needs to do these periodically, and I know he's going to need orthodontic work. It would get he would freak out if they were putting things in his mouth to clean his teeth. And so it's kind of it felt to me, wow, this is so symbolic, these two big things. The pancake mix, so big, Cindy, but it was, that have kind of come to a head or returned, or at least you feel you've surmounted the initial aspect of something that was kind of maybe very large in your life at the time. So that's the basis of the boomerang, the positive boomerang readings that I'm going to do this week. So I'm going to look at the area of your life that this could be about, what this symbolizes, what is the purpose too, and why is the boomerang taking place? What's going to be happening? What's the whole point of the boomerang taking place? It could just be to make pancakes again together, or it could be that now you don't have to worry so much about an event that occurred in the past. That's kind of finished. You've gotten through it. So that's what we're going to do with these readings this week, and that's what the boomerang is all about, guys. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. We're going to do your positive boomerang, Scorps. Now, we're going to look at the area of your life this boomerang, this positive boomerang is going to be about. What is the symbolism of this positive boomerang? And why is the positive boomerang taking place? So I'm going to use the Kipper. Look at, you have great fortune, high honor. So toil and labor leading to high honor and great fortune. You work hard, you're honored in it, and you're rewarded financially. That sounds like a perfect world. So maybe, I don't know, Scorpio. I'm going to use the Kippa, and I'm going to use my modern day spellcasters. And my teeny tiny, this new deck is just the Witch's Tarot, it's called. So, Scorps, let's get started. Okay, Scorpio, positive boomerang for Scorpio. Which area of their life is this positive boomerang occurring in? What does this positive boomerang symbolize? What is the symbolism of it? And why is it taking place? Expectation is something that you're expecting. So funny. So I want to say, if this is a boomerang, it's like something that you've been expecting for a while and hasn't happened. Something that you've expected before and it fell through. So there you go. It's coming around again. What this symbolizes. Oh, it symbolizes house. It could symbolize foundation. It could symbolize comfort, safety. It could even actually symbolize a house. Like it could be moving. It could be moving. Maybe you've been expecting that you would move, or maybe you've been expecting, I kind of want to say it's almost like, I had a neighbor talk years and years and years ago about the house that they lived in. And she said, like, they lived in another town a little bit south of here. And they used to drive up here, and they would drive to this neighborhood, and that was the house that she absolutely loved. It was like their favorite house in the whole neighborhood. And I don't know, I want to say she maybe tried to imagine herself living in it. Well, they ended up getting it. They ended up getting it like years later. And I can't remember the story behind it. And she thought it was almost like kind of magical, that they'd always admired that house. They'd always liked it. And then she ended up getting it. So, there's something like that. It's almost like expecting and driving around the neighborhood. Because it has something to do with your house, with foundation. It could be symbolizing something that you've wanted to get done in your house too. Like maybe there's some sort of renovation, or you've wanted to buy a house. There's just something like the way she's looking out the window. It is expectation, but I get like almost a sense of longing with it maybe as well. Okay, so why? Why is the boomerang taking place? Oh, lovers. Well, it's almost like, I guess, the tarot cards. So it could be about choices. There's a choice for you to make. You could be moving. Could maybe have been expecting that there would be a change for you in the future, and it's something that you've done before. I mean, in that way, it's a pretty simple boomerang, unless you were born, raised, and never moved out of the house that you're living in right now, or the home that you're living in, right? So this has kind of got that feeling of something that you've done before, but like with lovers. Why? This could be a choice that you're making with a partner that you have right now. You could be making a choice to move in together. You could be moving into a new neighborhood and meeting somebody special. So it's interesting why it's taking place. Oh my gosh. Look what you have at the bottom. It's almost like you could move into a neighborhood, and you've moved before. It's a boomerang, and you're going to meet somebody here. So that's very interesting. There's 3 cards in the underline. Mature man thoughts of marriage. So mature man thoughts of marriage. The other thing I'm getting with this too, because you have mature man, not to say that mature people can't get married, but there is something here, like you might be older, your kids might be wanting to get married, or your kid, or your child, or hopefully it's not everybody the same year if you have more than one kid, because that might be why. Maybe you're thinking about selling your house. There's a lot of ways to go. This is really like home, foundation, and family, like strong in your reading, Scorpio. Where I'm going with this is I feel like some of you, maybe you have a child who's going to get married. the house is a little too big for you now, and you'd kind of like to maybe give them a bit of money to get them started so they could have their own home, or, you know, so there's some expectation coming around here. It's coming around. So maybe it's something you've even thought about or planned of or anticipated. You know, when this day comes, we'll probably sell the house, buy something smaller, give the kids or our kid a little bit of money in that so that they can get settled, they can start off. Because, you know, this guy's thinking about something. He could be even thinking about something for himself. So if this is you and you're older, it could be, yeah, I don't know. You could have expectations of marriage, moving in with somebody. Interesting. It's a very interesting Scorpio. And why is it, right? The Lovers, because of marriage. So could even be maybe, well, I don't know where you would go then. I was going to say, maybe it's something somebody's thinking. Maybe the kids would move into where you are. There's like something here about that. What's this? What are we? Justice. Wow. Yeah. You could be older and you could have moved into a neighborhood and you were looking at somebody and you're thinking, I wonder if they're married. There's so many ways this could be playing out. It's just, or somebody new could have moved in your neighborhood. I wonder if they're married. If they are, maybe they still want to be my lover. Wow, what is this? Okay. Okay, so I'll tell you, the reason the boomerang is taking place, because the only thing worth fighting for is love. So there you go. So that's what's taking place. You have quite an interesting assortment of cards here, I'll tell you that. So, the area of your life this is about, it's some sort of expectation. The Three of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Moon. Oh my God, this hurts like a son of a gun. So, the way the tarot cards are coming out here, if you were resonating with the first part of what I was saying, it's not to say it's not your message. It definitely is. But I think that's kind of why I also do the readings like this. Because there's more than one person with more than one story coming to these readings. So it's taking a bit of a turn here. So I'm going to say that. The area of your life, I want to say, it has something to do with heartache, things that have been cut out, and the mysteries surrounding that. Does it have something to do with home and stability? It could, right? Because it says house. And in that symbolism, check this out. You have the Five of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Death card. Oh, there you are, like some kind of an ending. It symbolizes an ending for you. It symbolizes, and it could still be true, like if you are contemplating selling a house to have money to help pay for your kid's wedding or to get them started. I don't know. Like it definitely, there's a symbolism here of, and even being out of that, like moving away from it, not being there anymore. There's a sense of definite loss and pain associated with this. Even if there's something like selling this house or, yeah, even doing that, even if you know, like it is for something good and somebody else's future that you care about, it's still, I want to say there's still a part of you here that definitely experiences pain. I want to say too, with the Page of Cups, like there's almost this, it's the small hopefulness. It's like hopeful energy. I ran in, again, it's funny because I ran into a lady the other day when I was shopping. It was an older lady. And, oh, I don't remember. I was signing up for some kind of points or something. Oh, no, that's not, because one of the items they had wasn't in stock. So we ordered it online and they were going to deliver it to the house. So I told her the address. And she said, oh, that's in the such and such neighborhood. I said, yeah, yeah. She said, oh, we used to live there. I love that house. She said, their son was going to study abroad. I'm in Canada. He was going to go to university in Australia. And her and her husband looked at it and are like, we don't have enough money saved for this, but it's the right thing to do for, you know what I mean? Like, if there's something here about that sacrifice, and she's still reminiscing about that house. She's like, yeah, that was a nice house. I don't think we can get back in the neighborhood, but there's something about that here. So even though you're doing something for a good cause, right? Like, that's kind of the feeling about this. But it's still, it could be, and with a page too. Oh, here, oh my God, the Page of Pentacles is at the bottom. I wasn't sure. But now that I've said that whole story, right? Like, it was for him to go and study and do so, and travel, explore, you know, life, to take, yeah. Interesting energy, Scorpio. I mean, this could even be something for you. Maybe it's something that you want, you know, you need to do. I'm going to downsize here. I'm going to use some of that money to do some other things. But there's still something about, like, obviously you have memories. You have, yeah, nostalgia connected with what this could be. It definitely has something to do with feeling safe and secure and foundation. But the expectation, the area of your life here, something cut out. I'm kind of also getting the energy of somebody who's lost a partner. Either that person has passed away or that person has left. Like, there's been a breakup here and it's time to sell the house or something like that. Because it's the area of your life that's kind of sad and painful and things have been cut out and you're just left really not knowing what comes next. But why is this taking place? Because the only thing worth fighting for is love. So you had the Lovers, right? And then you have the Queen of Cups, the Five of Wands, and the Page of Swords. That's just what I heard as soon as I saw those cards. The only thing worth fighting for is love. It's the only thing, and you have a page. Interesting. So in some ways, this does feel like it could have something to do with a child or children. Maybe you are in a marriage or in a connection as well, and you've ended up getting pregnant, or your partner has, and you're not in a good school district, and you're like, you know what? This is a better area, so let's sell this house. I don't know. There's something here about still kind of like doing something. It's right. It's the right reasons, but there's still a lot of connection to it not feeling particularly great. But you do it for love. For love. Okay, expectation, the area of your life. The Seven of Swords and the Ten of Cups. Boy, you're being sneaky, Scorpio. What is this? The Seven of Swords and the Ten of Cups. Expectation. That's an odd expectation. Just give me a second here. Because the Seven of Swords is kind of like somebody who's sneaky, who's maybe stealing. And then the Ten of Cups, so this is happiness. This is, what is going on? What am I reading for? Are you like stealing something? Are you hoping that somebody you know is stealing something? And it's going to make you happy? This is the oddest energy I've ever pulled out. It is really odd. What is with that? Is there something here about being sneaky and manipulative can result in happiness? Or this is some sort of transformation? Could be any, could be both, because you never know who's coming to these readings. They're available worldwide. So there's, I want to say, because you have the Three of Swords and the Five of Swords here, this is the era of your life where you've had to cut things out. Maybe because they were sneaky, because people were being sneaky. So this could be too, I could be connecting with someone, I said at some point, somebody who's lost a partner or a partnership has ended. Maybe that person was sneaky. Maybe that person was cheating. I don't know. Or maybe this person was embezzling money. I have no idea. But it's almost like, I want to say there's hopefulness here with the Ten of Cups. So you're hoping for something better in life. Or you're expecting. There's a difference between hope and expectation. I hope this works out. I expect this to work out. If it doesn't, there's going to be consequences. So the Three of Swords. The Nine of Cups. The Queen of Swords. I can't help but feel like too with this underline that I'm picking up on somebody who's been through a relationship already in life, like a very significant relationship already in life, like a marriage, a partnership, and that's ended up in divorce, or sadly somebody has passed away and someone's a widower or widower. Because there's an expectation here of relationship and like fulfilling dreams, finding happiness, maybe through another relationship, because the Nine of Cups is here and the Queen of Swords. So this is like finding happiness, finding maybe freedom after, like the Queen of Swords is the divorcee in the tarot as well. The Five of Swords. But I want to also say it's seeing clearly beyond your heartache. Karma, which is judgment, and the Six of Wands. So this is successful if something is cut out here. Or maybe you're waiting for somebody to sell a house or pay you out. The Moon. Temperance and the Sun. Wow. So going from like the dark, fear, confusion, utilize your intuition because there's nothing else to pave the way. Just like kind of be patient, hold on tight, and then, right, the sun always rises. The sun always rises, always has. It shall continue to do that, likely within all of our lifetimes. Ah, interesting. This is a major transformation, actually. This is turning into a major transformation with these clarifiers. What this symbolizes? What is the symbolism of this house? Chariot and the Nine of Swords. The symbolism is being able to move away from your anxiety. Maybe a house symbolizes anxiety too, right? And just moving away from that. The Five of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. Isn't that interesting? You got a 3 and a 2. It adds up to 5. And what's also interesting is in this Three of Pentacles, this person is on their own. And on the Two of Pentacles, they usually are anyways. And they're on their own too. And the Five of Pentacles kind of represents being a bit on your own there. On your own, moving away from something. there's a sense of having to try to juggle like how something is coordinated or worked on together with this. So it might be something that you're having difficult. You know, the other thing I want to say that's coming into is I'm getting the energy of like two people that have had a child or children together, and they're no longer together, like divorced, maybe even for a long time. And it's almost like something's come up with your child. Maybe, yeah, your child, maybe it's not even a marriage, or maybe it's going to school or something like that, and agreeing that they have an equal, maybe it is a house, maybe it's a second house, maybe it's a cottage, or one of you are living in the house and one isn't, and like selling it to have the money to do something here. It's really interesting because this house symbolizes like it's moving away from the anxiety. This house creates anxiety somehow. Or maybe you're trying to move out of a house. Maybe you're with a partner right now. Page of Cups. This is like the hope, you know, a hope. Oh, look, the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So this is building on small hopes and taking these forward. The symbolism is the house, the foundation, moving away from this anxiety. And the anxiety could be wrapped around differing opinions on how to create something together. And then building on small hopes here for a greater momentum in the future. The Death card. The Two of Cups and the Knight of Wands. Well, that could also be like if you had a partner here that was a little bit of a player. This person was engaging in extracurricular activities. That's over. Interesting. So why? Why is it? Because love is the only thing worth fighting for. So that's interesting too. So if this is a financial disagreement or fight as well, love is the only thing worth fighting for. The Lovers. Oh, the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, right? Like that's the card that you pull out in the area of your life. The Queen of Cups. The Emperor and the Page of Cups. The Five of Wands. The King of Cups. The Hermit. The Page of Swords. The Two of Wands and the Three of Cups. That has a feeling of watching. I don't know, maybe you are like watching someone in your neighborhood. I don't know. Because yeah, the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords and the Two of Wands just really gives me this feeling like both these people watch, right? They're watching from their window. Oh, how creepy you're being out there from watching from my window. I was today. I'm figuring out the neighbors a little bit more. But yeah. And I'll get there in a second. I'll save that for the end if you're interested. Cindy's ramblings about what's going on. And then the Three of Cups, right? It's almost like a friend of a friend, or a friend in a friend group. You know what this is reminding me of? I've been going through like the Seinfeld episodes. Like, I want to say this little section here. This is what this reminds me of. And because I'm kind of binging it all, well, there's a lot of seasons and a lot of episodes. You can't do it all at once. You need a little break. So I took a little break. I kind of went back to it. And it's funny because Jerry and Elaine are always like betting on that marriage. That won't last. As soon as that marriage is done, I'm in there. Like, they do this over and over again. And it's really funny. Like, there's almost kind of the energy of that. Because it is like somehow connected in a friend group with the Three of Cups. Watching, waiting, expecting. It's got that feeling. All right, what's going on over here? The mature man has thoughts of marriage. It could, well, what is this marriage about? Let's see, it could be ending a marriage. It could be providing money for help someone to get married. It is 5 of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, like ending a marriage. Ending a marriage. Wow, it is. Because it's the 5 of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. She's like the wife. Thoughts. These thoughts. Oh. The 8 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords. A new beginning here. Oh, what are y'all up to? Yeah, this is the Ace of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords. When I have my money, I'm on my way. The mature man. The 8 of Swords. Did like a triple sow cow there. I don't know what that was. Oh, the 8 of Swords to the Ace of Swords. Yeah, when I have my money, I'll be on my way. I won't be trapped anymore. And tomorrow's a better day. I'm going to start rapping. So, yeah, do you like that? Yeah, this is definitely like the end of a marriage, isn't it? Again, you know, if it's like the whole thing resonated up until that point, all that stuff that resonated was you. There's more than you in this reading. That's fascinating. Oh, yeah. The 7 of Wands. So, yeah, protecting yourself, defending against outside forces. So I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, I'm going to use a different deck. Actually, I switched it up. I was using the Energy Oracle deck on YouTube, and then I was using the Kippa in the extended. But because I used a Kippa here, I'm going to use the Energy Oracle deck in the extended and see what other positive boomerangs or boomerang is coming for you next. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, so here's the, I think I was talking about it in the Leo reading. Oh, I talked about it in Cancer, and so I'm a watcher, and not like in a creepy way. I don't sit, although at one point, before I got furniture for the front room, it was a little creepy maybe. I had this rocking chair my mom gave me, and I put it in front of the front window of the house because I'm just gonna sit here and rock and watch people go by. But when I was coming back from taking Lily for a walk one day, I walked by and I'm like, that looks really creepy. Like the rocking chair is right in front of that window looking out. I thought, oh my God, Cindy, you're really paving yourself to be like a weird old creepy lady. I was watching everybody. So anyways, I moved the rocking chair. Now I have like a couch so I can just like put my arm and see what's going on out there. But anyway, so I like to observe. I find it fascinating. I probably should have been like a psychologist or a psychiatrist or something like that, because I just find human behavior so fascinating. So anyways, maybe in the next life I'll have enough money to do something like that. But the neighbor two doors down. So she's a little different. I talked about her in the Leo reading. And she came up because trying to understand her, right? Like it's winter here. So it's not like you can really have a lot of opportunity to stand and talk with people. And even if you do see them on the sidewalk, it's -20 wind chill. So you all just say hi and keep going. Got to do what you got to do and then get back inside. So once spring comes, it'll be a little bit easier to get to know people. So of course, I have to rely on my detective skills. So the first time I passed her on the sidewalk, I said hi or good morning and, you know, smile, and I don't really expect, I'm not expecting a conversation or anything like that. I got one of these. And she kept going. And I thought, oh, okay, maybe she's having a bad day. I don't know. Maybe it's too cold to smile. So, yeah, the next time, same thing. Hi, good morning. This person's problem. I don't know, maybe she's mute. I don't know, right? So, and then I don't remember who I was talking to, like a friend who's been in the neighborhood for a while, and they were kind of like describing all the different neighbors around me, the ones that they knew. And then the topic of her came up, and they said, yeah, she's a bit of she's not very friendly. She's not very nice. And I feel like somebody else told me that years ago, actually, because there's something about her fence that is bringing, anyways. So I thought it's interesting, but now she's got kids, and a lot of other kids in the neighborhood go and play there. So I'm thinking to myself, she can't be all that bad because she lets the kids come in and the kids play and da 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 da. So, okay, so then there's my other story. A lady that I ran into walking Lily, right near the little park here. And I was talking about her, I think in the cancer reading. This was fascinating, right? I find this fascinating. Again, human behavior. Why do people behave this way? What's going on with them? So she had this like terrier dog. And it's kind of funny, right? Because, you know, dogs have different personalities. And sometimes Lily, actually, I'm going to be my dog's a snob. Lily's a bit of a snob. She knows what she likes and she knows what she doesn't like. And if she doesn't like it, she's out of there. She's not interested. So I'll just, you know, I'm sorry. Lily's not, you know, I'll pave over it. I'll try to, yeah, she is. These two, they get along great. And it's really unusual for Lily because this dog is quite a bit taller than her. And she's usually really intimidated by taller dogs. So I was talking to the owner and I'm like, oh, this is really nice. Like they get along and, you know, she doesn't always get along with other dogs. And the lady's standing there listening to me talk. And then, you know, the conversation just kind of dropped off and she just looks right past me and she talks to the dog and she's, come on, we're going to the park. Like she didn't say anything to me. I thought it was weird and it felt really rude at the time, to be honest. And I just thought, again, you don't know, maybe she's having a bad day. The next thing I'm learning is, you know what, don't even give people the benefit of the doubt anymore. So, this lady, yeah, and there's been a couple other times where she's been walking the dog, and she's on the road, and I'm on the sidewalk, and most people still, because it's also tight, like, because of the little plows with all the snow we have, so there's, you know, sometimes not enough room, or it's a little bit close for two people to pass. So, yeah, sometimes one of us will go on the sidewalk or whatever. But she won't even look. Like, she's just, okay. Because a lot of people will steal from the road. They go, oh, hi, or good evening, or have a night night. Nothing. So, I was just going on a bit. I have to tell you everything. So, I want your opinions. What do you think? Because I also don't really want to talk about it in my neighborhood because I don't want to be a gossip. Gossip with you. It's not really gossiping. It's trying to understand. I want to say, like, trying to understand. Because if it was gossip, I would be like, you know, do you know what I saw going on over there? This is what I think they're doing. You know, that's just, yeah, no. So then a couple days ago, we had some snow. The plow guy came, but there's still like pieces that I need to go out and kind of do with the shovel. So I'm out there doing that. And 2 doors down, she comes out with her snowblower. And she goes down the street with it. And I'm thinking, she's not all that bad. She's going to help somebody with the snow, with her snowblower. And I'm out there a little bit longer. And then she starts coming back without the snowblower. And she goes into the house. I'm like, okay. You know, it's easier to watch people when you're like shoveling. That's why I like to do gardening too. See what's going on. And then she comes back. She's walking back in the same direction with the a little gas tank. And I thought, oh, she's run out of gas. And so she's going to like fill up the snowblower and she's going to, you know, help whoever this is. And now I've noticed a couple times now, since then, I've seen her talking to the rude lady. I've seen her talking to the rude lady with the terrier. And where she went, I think I know where the terrier lady lives. And that's where she went with the snowblower. So now I saw them again this morning talking to each other. And I'm like, oh, those two are a little clique. And they both seem rude. So anyways, I bumped into the terrier lady on, okay, so it's hard to describe. It's like, I was over by the kids' school and I'm on the sidewalk, but then like the walkway to the school kind of like slopes down, but I was standing on the sidewalk and I'm like, I'm not going to approach her. I'm not going to say anything anymore. I'm just going to be complacent. I'm going to put myself out there if you're going to be a rude bitch. So I just stood there with Lily and she's like trying to direct her dog. I could tell her dog, I think, kind of wanted to come to Lily, and Lily was just standing there like, sure, because they like each other. But anyways, so I just watched her. I just watched her go down, and she looked up at me, and she could see that I was looking at her. Because I'm thinking, like, I kind of know. I think I know the type of person you are. I think there's some sort of, I could be wrong. Now it's conjecture, right? It's like, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a defensive nature because they've been hurt by people in the past. I kind of feel like they look at people in terms of status and wealth. That's what I'm picking up on here. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So I don't like that because I think you can be as rich as shit. I've met people that are as rich as shit and they are so down to earth and they're so nice. But then actually when you get into kind of like upper middle class, you can really run into people that are a little bit, my shit don't stink, honey. Like, no, everybody's shit stinks and yours probably smells worse. But so anyways, so she saw me giving her like, I don't know if I was giving her the stink eye. I was giving her the eye. And she went, like, so I don't know. We'll see how this unfolds. But so I'm open to understanding these people more. Not necessarily open to any sort of friendship with them. So I just don't get why people are just like snobby. I can understand why people might be shy, and I can understand why people might be a little bit apprehensive to get to know people because they've been burned in the past. But the snobby thing, oh, I just want to break that down. So, anywho, that's the end of that shit. I'll let you know, right? Well, you might have to pop into different readings because, yeah, I talked about a bit in Leo and Cancer, and now I brought it all together here in your reading. This is fascinating. I know people will be like, why do you bother with that? It's just because it's my nature. Like, I have my processes, and I think it's part of my planetary placements too, to think a lot about what goes around on my, like, it doesn't frustrate me. I find it kind of fascinating and interesting. So you don't have to put that in the comments. Like, don't bother doing that, Cindy. Why would you want to do that? That's your nature. It's not mine. I kind of enjoy it. That's why I do it. So anyways, that's the end of that. Until next time, Scorpio, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.